Hello everyone, I'm Hawk, and this is my first makeup video. I am obsessed with makeup, I love colorful makeup, and yeah, if anything seems off, I'm recording with my phone, I don't live alone, and I live in an apartment, so I may not be the only sound you hear. So that being said, please bear with me, please stick by, and just see if you like this content that I'm making. So yeah, if you're wondering what content I'm making, I'm going to be doing a eyeshadow palette tag regarding my favorite, my least favorite, my most used, my oldest, my newest, and my most unique shadows. So if that sounds interesting to you, please stick with me. So my most used, let's start with that. This is the NYX Ultimate Bright Shadow Palette. I say it's alright. The formula has definitely gone off over time, but this holds some very fun memories for me, and I especially like this tealy shade, like this tealy, like, mint shade next to the darker one, and the pastel, like, lilac. Those are, like, my favorites. If I can find that and, like, bought from other brands in different, like, with, like, a similar, like, but better formula, I would really like to find that. If any of you have recommendations, please let me know, because this minty color is my favorite, and one of the reasons I've kept this so long, because I really love that mint shade, and I'm going to keep this so long as I have that mint shade. So that being said, I'm going to get into my oldest palette, and that would be this Wet n Wild Quad. I don't think it's quad anymore. They've released it as a 5-pan now, but it's a Color Icon Quad in Petalette, and my favorite shade in here would be this like grayish purplish mauvey color, if I could describe it as that. It's like a really pretty transition shade. It's my favorite transition shade, and I just really like it, and it's a really like unique shade, and I'm hoping that their new like 5-pan version of this quad has that same shade with the same undertones and everything, because it was my perfect transition shade for more neutral looks. Even though I don't do many neutral looks, when I choose to, this here happens to be the palette I go for, even though it's so old, just because I really like those purpley tones because I have cool undertones. And next, let's get on a more kind of negative note. My least favorite eyeshadow palette would be this Morphe, I know it's Morphe, very controversial, Dual Crew 9Z. Personally, it's just not my tones, and although it looks pretty well loved, it's not. Trust me, it's just from the swatches, and I have used Fool's Gold a bit, just because I didn't have any other golds at the time, so like that's what I would keep this palette for, but like beyond that, it's just not good, both tone-wise for me and also quality-wise, I'd say, because like, I don't know if you can see this, but Rich Girl, it has kind of like these bumps within the shadow, and like it developed hard pan, like, and I'm not talking just because of age. Like when I first got it, like a couple years ago, like this shade Rich Girl, this bottom shade Rich Girl, just had this hard pan and like wasn't pigmented, was super patchy, and I was pretty bummed about that, but I'm like, oh, everyone's hyping up Morphe, I must be using it wrong, but no, it's just not good quality. So definitely won't be repurchasing this or most Morphe shadows anytime soon, but if I can find a gold that is similar to this, hey, maybe, but just not from Morphe. And now let's go to a more positive note again with my favorite eyeshadow palettes. This one, I know the front is worn off, is the ColourPop Blue Moon palette. I got this for my 16th birthday, and so it holds a lot of fond memories for me. I've used Lumi and Moonlight a lot, as well as Fine China. I've used this palette in general quite a bit, and I've done a lot of blue looks. I don't know if you know this about me, but I love colorful looks. I love fun looks, bold looks, just very bold, out there looks, just because it's just fun. Like, makeup is art for my face, and I like to express myself with my makeup. So that being said, my other favorite eyeshadow palette is this Makeup Revolution Birds of Paradise Forever Flawless palette. This is pretty good. I love the white shade. The white shade is super pigmented, super good, super blendable. The shades Exotic, Hot Tropic, and Fiesta. I have like Hot Tropic and Fiesta have some pan in them, but those are very similar textures to the ColourPop Super Shocks, and so if you love that creamy, like chromatic, not chromatic, but like very like, what's the word for it? Not chromatic, but just like very texture, like good texture. It's very shiny. It's like creamy, and I can't think of the word, it's on the tip of my tongue, but you get the idea. It's a pretty good texture, and like formula looks really good on the eyes, I should say, is what I'm trying to get at. So like, if you like shimmers that are like this, I really suggest this palette. It has some pretty fun shimmers, like this pink just makes my finger look wet. And let me get this a swatch. This is a pretty good pink. It doesn't look like much on my phone camera, but in person, it's just a really pretty, just like, color. And my newest palette would be, I got this at Marshall's. It was on sale. I think they're discontinuing this, unfortunately, but I really like this. It's from I Heart Revolution. It's their Tasty Avocado palette, and I absolutely adore this palette. I love the shimmers. They have such a, like, interesting texture. They're so, like, wet feeling, but not quite like a Super Shock, and they're just, like, really pretty. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but it just has such, like, a radiance to it, and it just looks really exquisite in person anyways. It doesn't look like much here, but, like, in person it's just a sparkly, just, like, beautifulness. It's like an aquamarine color, and I love it. And finally, for this video, I'm going to go on to my most unique shadow. It's a single shadow. It's a loose shadow from Notoriously Morbid Cosmetics. It's a multi-chrome. It's my only multi-chrome. It's called Trial by Stone, and it has this, like, purple to red to orange to green to gold to even, like, a blue shift. Although, albeit, the purple is more of, like, a reddish purple, but, still purple. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It looks pretty green here in the bottle. I just don't want to open it and just watch it just because I don't have very much in here, but, like, it is gorgeous. Let me see if I can get my camera to show just how gorgeous it is, because it is what dreams are made of, in my opinion. Absolutely. So if you like really pretty multi-chromes that are a bit more wearable in the sense of, like, they just, I don't know, like, has that, like, coppery goldish base to it, so, like, kind of, like, it's a dark base, but also, like, the main pigment that shows up is this, like, coppery color. Like, if you like something that's like that, but, like, also has these, like, shifts to more, like, fun colors, you'll really like this. I'd say it's a very, like, wearable multi-chrome. If you are starting out in multi-chromes just like I am, I'd suggest getting this, especially if you are someone who tends to shy away from color. I think you'd really like it because it has those neutral tones within the multi-chrome that really show through, especially, like, if you have my skin tone, or, like, I'd say even if you have a darker skin tone, I think it would still show up pretty, like, neutral with these, like, shifts to more fun colors. So, like, if you want to try out multi-chromes but you're a little scared of color or something like that, I suggest getting this. Or if you're just starting out in multi-chromes in general and don't know where to start, something like this would be pretty good. In fact, I really want this in the pressed formula because I really like the loose formula so much. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite palette is, your least favorite palette is, your most used palette, your most unique palette or eyeshadow, and your oldest, and all of that. Just let me know all these things in the comment section below or in your own video. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed. This is Hawk, signing out.